Oh, okay. I guess we can mute it. There we go.
Hi.
Zoom, everyone. We are finally live. It is 7 o'clock on the East Coast. We are live. Spike Dash here with you. Nate Henninger, as always, joining me, the co-host with the most. Apologies in advance for pushing next video for a couple days for so long. Started getting a cold on Sunday. Sore throat. Then went to a headache. Had to call in work on Monday. It was messy.
We've all been battling.
Oh, I know. You guys have been, but
Sarah first, then me, then I guess him.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
This is the best I felt. So I was gonna get it done tonight, so I couldn't push it back any further. So this is kind of just our look back. This is the look back at 2018 and what we're looking forward to for 2019. A look ahead. So best moments, worst moments, honorable, dishonorable mentions, gaming look back, and just again, it's kind of a look ahead to what's to come in 2019. But before we dive into that, I would be remiss if we didn't address Tyler Trent. It was tough to hear the news yesterday that he had passed away at the young age of 20 after a third battle with osteosarcoma, a rare form of bone cancer. His story captivated not just the country, I'm pretty sure the world. After his story was aired on College Game Day on ESPN, and that night Purdue took on number 2 Ohio State in college football. And not only did they win, they destroyed them 49-20. And his story just took off from there. Was given this Disney Spirit Award, won the Sycamore, the Wabash, the highest civilian honor you can get in the state of Indiana. It just touched so many through his fight and his stories. He published a book for his death's coming out in March. So I know a lot have already done it on Twitter. I've done it. Thoughts and prayers to the Trent family and the entire Purdue community in this time. I mean, God got a good one. You know, I know he's going to be cheering hard.
Yeah,
up there as well. He's in God's student fan section now. Because he just touched so many.
I'm planning on I'm in Special Olympics for Indiana, and I'm planning on maybe doing something. I got to get it okayed with the coordinator and the people that run it, but I might do like a TT on my jersey somewhere.
And I know you and I talked about it off stream, but that the Purdue football team will probably do something next year to do that. I know that the basketball team, when they play Iowa tomorrow night, is going to have special jerseys or shooting shirts or something like that. You know, to have moment of silence, something like that. So I know I saw it on Twitter. So so that's cool. So as a Purdue alum, it hits me hard, you know, and it's tough because I know how tight knit the Purdue community is. So so I will probably be buying his book. I probably will, because all the money from that goes toward cancer research. So so just had to open with that because I know that's been resonating a lot with me. So as tough as it is to go from that, let's take a look back. 2018 was definitely an interesting year.
A little bit.
It was in a lot of different ways. But I always like to start with the good first. So let's start with the best first. First off, some honorable mentions. March 21st, the time I took Tommy and Shelby to their first Comet game. That was a fun night. Shortly after they got married. Comets did lose that night. They lost to Kalamazoo 3-2 in overtime, but they loved it. They had a blast. They want to go back. So that was good. July 5th, the Jackrabbits, coming off of successfully in the Prospect League, they announced their move to the Northwoods League for this upcoming season. So bigger, more teams, more competition. So that's going to be exciting for them. So that was cool. July 7th, shortly after I read Vivid's book, I got my Brayburn plush in the mail to pair with my Soren plush. So that was neat. Let's see. July 22nd, when we came up with Priority. with the acronym.
Mm-hmm.
That night was something special.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that it just came out of a conversation that you and I had.
Yeah.
About church and about faith, and then it just came to me. Like I just started. I was having my computer, and bam.
He was really struggling. You know, I think we kind of almost both were, but he definitely was. Mm-hmm. It was just like, you know, and I think my comment that led to that was, I've seen you like almost stay up all night for BroNYCons. I've seen you almost stay up all night for the summer games in Terre Haute. Mm-hmm. Get your, rethink your priorities.
Yep.
Get your priorities straight.
Yep.
Make church a priority.
Yep.
And it was like a
bing,
if you metaphorical
light bulb over the head.
Bing.
Yeah.
I said, make church and make your religion a priority.
And so then then priority popped into my head.
And then all of a sudden I hear, I mean, he is just going nuts on these keys over here.
And then I printed it off and then showed you, handed it to you.
I was like, and I'm reading this, so I'm like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it still sits. It's still here on the desk. It's still there on the desk. Yours is still on the fridge, and we remember it. And whenever we need it, it's there.
For the most part, I'd probably give myself about an 80.
Yeah.
80%.
Yeah.
Ish. Tithing is a little tough.
It is, and I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
For the most part, I wouldn't give myself a fail.
No, because nor would I.
Most of the time we do church.
Yep, church, prayer, reading.
I'm constantly in prayer.
Reading, like devotions.
I read at least
Bible
one
readings.
verse a day because I got the Bible app on my phone that has the verse.
And then the rest of it is just really like living it out, being the inspiring, the opportunity part, all that. That's mostly just living out the faith.
Right.
So, that's where the rest of it came from. So, that was huge.
It was like so unexpected. Yeah. And so like you said, a light bulb was like, ding, and it just came out of that. I was like, whoa.
That really shaped us going forward. So,
okay. Yeah.
August 3rd, Rory coming through. This delivery from the Lions.
Uh-huh.
Coming home to work from that. That was just seeing that in my mailbox from the Detroit Lions. I knew immediately what it was. So coming through on his promise, getting the autograph cards and the letter that's still on my wall. So that blew my mind. Uh-huh. So I mean, I waited a decent time, but that was awesome.
Excuse me.
Then 5 days later, August 8th, springing the news on you guys, and I was getting your budsies.
Yeah.
That was, and recording it, your reaction.
Uh-huh.
And then October 1st, when they actually came and we did the live stream for that, that was cool. That was a cool moment. I mean,
and Budgies never responded to that.
No, they didn't.
They were so up on, hey, we want to see another replay.
And we don't know if they watched the stream or not. We don't, but that was cool. That was still cool regardless.
Yeah.
So the fact we'll get to bring him to conventions, that's awesome. Let's see, another honorable mention. November 19th. The lower level Pacer experience. When I went down to watch the Jazz game, closest seats I've ever had, 7 rows behind the basket. And the Jazz won, so 8-0. The Pacer perfect streak stayed alive, so that was awesome. Got my game night picture with Boomer for the first time ever on a game night, so that was awesome.
Nice.
Got to include December 1st, the Big Ten title game.
Yes.
Even though Northwestern didn't win, it was still a great experience.
Uh-huh.
It was still awesome. The Fan Fest and all of that surrounding it.
Fan Fest was ridiculous.
It was. It really was, though. Yeah.
That Fan Fest was.
Yeah. The game itself was a little annoying, but surrounded by Ohio State fans. But,
yes.
But no, the Fan Fest was fun. That made up for it.
Yeah.
So. And then on the 17th, and I mentioned you convinced me to submit my panel idea for Winnie City.
Yes.
So that was neat. So that's the honorable mentions. Now here, or do we want to do dishonorable? Let's do dishonorable mentions as well. Let's do dishonorable mentions too. We'll do honorable mentions. We'll do best 10 and worst 10. So dishonorable mentions for the worst. The death of my PT Cruiser.
No.
At the start of at this time last year.
Yeah.
It was just the brutally cold winter. By this time, yeah, on this note, it was on this day 1 year ago that it happened. 1 year ago today. January 2nd. 1 year ago today.
How about that?
It was like -10, -20. It was terrible.
Temperature-wise.
And the temperature just sucked.
Last year was brutal.
This is like Florida compared to last year.
Compared to last year?
Yeah. You know, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So my cruiser finally conked out after 11 years. Lots of service, lots of memories in that car. And then it was officially done on the 19th. But that was tough. That was tough. Lots of games. The road trip. The trip to Nashville. So a lot of memories in that car. April 2nd, Villanova winning their second national championship, beating Michigan. Yeah, not cool. May 25th, tough one for us here in the state, the school shooting at Noblesville at the middle school. That was tough. No deaths, 2 were injured, but the teacher, Jason Seaman, was hailed as a hero because he knocked the gun out of the shooter's hand. Yeah. He was a hero. He prevented a lot more from happening. So there's some good did come out of that.
No deaths
at all, just the 2 injuries. Right. But so that could have been a lot worse, but thankfully he stepped up.
I know I don't like to cuss on stream, but is the son of a bitch in prison?
Yeah, he's already been on trial. I mean, I don't know if he's in prison yet, but he's definitely on trial. So then a month later, June 25th, the Market Street Bridge closing for repairs, and it won't open till later this year. It has been a pain to go around that.
Oh, yeah.
It is a main, if you guys know Logansport, it is like the main thoroughbred in and out of our city. And main artery, yeah. So it is like, so that close has been a pain to have to like take 3rd Street, go around, and like do a U-E to get back to the main 24.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just did a really big blooper there.
Did I really?
Yeah. I think the word you're looking for is thoroughfare.
Thoroughfare? Did I say thoroughbred?
Yes, you did. Thoroughbred is horse.
Thoroughbred is buddy. I got pony on the brain. Holy crap. First blooper of 2019.
You didn't even realize it until I pointed that out, did you?
No. I got pony on the brain.
You said thoroughbred.
Thoroughbred. Thoroughfare. Okay.
Thoroughfare.
Oh, major face hoof. Major face hoof, Spiky Dash. Major face hoof. No, I didn't. No.
Jesus.
That's the Dayquil messing with my head.
You're gonna make me piss my pants.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty bad.
Wow.
That is really bad.
Wow.
I don't even know where that came from.
Jesus, I can't even look at you. I'm sorry. Jesus. Wow, dude.
Live television.
Oh,
Live stream.
Oh, yeah.
The wonder of live.
Woo.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my watch just gave me an alert that I've burned 49 calories. Somehow. But
probably laughing so
probably
hard.
From laughing so hard.
Bread.
I called a road a thoroughbred. I called a bridge a thoroughbred.
Yes, you did. Jesus. Oh, shit.
That is what Dayquil can do to your head, apparently. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. The main thoroughfare through our city, what I was trying to say. Yeah, indeed. Put up derpy. Technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Jesus.
Regardless, the long and short of it is
it is a
pain. It is a pain to go around, and hopefully when it does reopen, it'll be better. But oh boy. And now you're popular.
Going crazy.
And now you're popular.
Yeah.
Oh, for the stream going live. That's the Lord of the stream
I guess,
that you're a part of, and that you're now dying because I said called a road thoroughbred.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that'll be tough to beat.
That will be tough to beat for 2019. Yes, it will. That will be very tough to beat. Okay, other dishonorable mentions. July 12th. I mean, it kind of ties into this, but Rory not showing up at the Mascot Peewee game when I thought he would. I was disappointed. I was expecting to see him and meet him, but
what was I doing that day?
You had a tryout, I want to say, for softball.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. That's why you couldn't make it. You're hoping to make it next year.
I probably won't be doing softball.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to be doing any.
And I told you that my buddy from Seattle, Carlos, wants to come too.
Okay.
But the Seahawk fan that I always interact with on Twitter, Carlos, yeah, he might come next year too. So he's thinking of coming.
I probably won't do anything outside of summer games for the summer.
Right.
I think I might just take a break there.
Let's see. And other dishonorable mentions in August. I sent out my fan mail letter to Thunderbug from the Lightning. I didn't get a response back. That was unfortunate. Yeah, I didn't get. Yeah, I think I'm done writing letters to mascots. Yeah. I've tried twice with no response. And then last one, December 17th, our amazing fantasy season coming up short in the semifinals, where we got absolutely blown out by Oxomoxo, the eventual champion, 82-43.
September 26th wasn't a good day for me.
We'll get to that. Yeah. Well, let's start with good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the best moments. Number 10, you two moving in next door.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. Yep. May 1st.
Wow,
yep.
I'm surprised you started that off the number one, but
yeah. Well, I mean, there's plenty of other good ones, but yeah, that has to be in the top 10. You know, we've been talking about it for years, but the perfect sequence of events had to happen in order to make it work. You know, you guys being forced out of Sunset, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jason and Mike moving out, getting my mom's approval and your mom's approval, and then all three of those things happened. So I was not going to let that opportunity, pass by.
Neither were we.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't. You know,
like, this is ridiculous.
It just seemed like the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
You know, it really did. And,
we were going to move in like a year and a half before, but
but the stars didn't align. Yeah. And even though, like you mentioned, there's been a little bit of bumps here and there with finances and stuff, and you finding a job here.
Yeah.
Which the search continues.
Applied to like 5 or 6 different places.
Right. To me, it was the right thing to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not just because we've been friends for 24 years and counting, but it was the humanly thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, because I would have felt really bad, because that's my guilty conscience, if you guys were like homeless on the streets. Like
we wouldn't have been homeless. I don't know what we would have done, but we wouldn't have been homeless.
Okay. Well,
we wouldn't have been.
I didn't want to leave you in that vulnerable position.
We didn't want to move in with the parents.
No. No. So at least it's set up perfectly for that to happen. So that was great.
Yeah.
Number 9, Winnie City 2018.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, it's getting to a point where it's not like the highlight of the year, but it's in the top 10 now pretty much every year.
Yeah.
You know, it's our home convention now.
Pretty much.
We sponsor it all the time, but it doesn't make the memories any less memorable. No. You know, we were sponsors for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, because that was a goal for us.
Yeah.
And the perks were outstanding. You know, from the priority seating, the autograph vouchers, to the sponsor dinner. It was all awesome. You know,
sponsor lounge was
was disappointing, and I mentioned that in the survey.
A little bit.
And a lot of people did in the feedback stream to Charlie. They did.
What did they say?
I think he said they'll find ways to make it better.
Ours was,
what he said was, if that's an issue, tell them at the con. Like, if that's an issue, tell them at the convention. They will fix it.
Our issue, my issue, and I think
there wasn't enough variety.
Yeah, that, and I think our issue, and I think Sarah could agree if she was sitting here. Like, she likes veggies, like a veggie tray. It was fucking frozen, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
that's true.
And number 2, it's like, okay, we pay, but the sponsors as a whole pay good money to sponsor that.
Yes, they do.
Like, least you could do.
And sponsors fund the convention.
Least you could do is not do some chintzy-ass little tiny burger chips. They were like this.
Yeah, they were small.
And
they were small.
Chintzy-ass cans of soda. I mean, come on. Granted, I think the sponsor lounge is the last to get funded. Had to be.
Right,
has to be.
right.
I mean, okay, come on.
But like I said, Charlie did address that on the stream, and he said, yeah, if
no more frozen veggie plates, please.
Yeah, tell him at the con if it's bad. So, but the guest of honor list, top 2017s by far.
Well,
far and away, I think.
-1.
Oh well, Larson.
M.A. Jackass.
Yeah,
Larson.
right. Yeah, but Andrea Libman, Kelly Sheridan, Ingrid Nilsson, Ian Hanlon. Those were the highlights by far.
We got a Fluttershy painting signed by Andrea.
Andrea, who was Fluttershy. Yep. And then for me, I mean, the chance to upgrade to the Pegasus, something I couldn't pass up. Again, thank him for that because he alerted me to it.
I saw on the sponsor group, we were already Earth.
We all were. Yeah.
And I saw a conversation flying up and down, someone trying to get rid of their Pegasus sponsorship. And I'm like, hey, Chris, check this out. And that's what happened. So
my watch just vibrated and just told me it was 7:20 p.m. I'm not sure why. It just popped up and said 7:20 p.m. Okay.
But anyways, yeah.
But getting to play Pictionary with the guest of honor, awesome.
Insane.
Yeah, and win it with mine.
You
awesome.
Looked like you were having a hella good time up there.
I was. I really was.
I would probably be
nervous.
I probably need a change of droves.
Well, but me being on stage a lot of my life, I guess I could kind of been used to that. Yeah. And then, of course, the charity auction when I won the guest of honor badges. That's something.
You got smoke.
That's something I won't forget either. Yeah.
He got the lights beaming. He got smoke. Yeah. He basically.
And that moment when Charlie said the winning bid goes to Spiky Dash, that was I'll remember that forever.
Yeah, and then you bit Vivid Syntax.
I did bit Vivid's head off. I did bite Vivid's head off, and I apologized to him at Lou Malnati's for that.
Yeah,
because it was embarrassing to see him there.
Like
I look over there and I go, "Oh crap!" And I probably said shit. I probably did. I did. Yeah, shit. Because I'm wearing the badges around my neck, and I'm like, "Oh, jeez, here we go." So I had to make up for that. But no, the con is amazing. We're looking forward to 2019, obviously.
Oh yeah.
The theme is Midwest Adventure, which looks really cool. So exciting. But that kind of goes into number 8, which was upgrading the sponsorship.
We'll probably never go on a barrel run again, even though that was interesting. Yeah. I got way too drunk.
Yeah, right. You said the drinks were the strongest you've had in your life.
We went. Okay, this was something that Sarah and I.
It was an add-on.
Thanks.
Yes.
For
it was an add-on.
It's in Schaumburg, which is a suburb of Chicago.
Yes.
About an hour or so out of Chicago.
Yeah, give or take.
And what the theme was old Chicago.
Yep.
So they took us around the city in a barrel bus.
Yes.
Looked like a freaking whiskey barrel.
Yes.
And one of the historians took us to the sites of, some of the battles, mob boss battles going on. They took us to a church. We didn't tell you this, but they took us to a church that still has the bullet holes in it.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
from like the 30s.
No kidding. Huh? Jeez.
One of the mob bosses killed one of the other mob bosses right where we were standing.
Oh my gosh!
They said, if you look right here, there's a bullet hole, and I'll be damned.
Wow.
But that was fun, and got a little bit of history on Chicago as far as like 1920s, 30s, 40s Chicago. That was fun, but it was long.
Right.
And I got too drunk because we went to a Prohibition era speakeasy that was around at that time. It's not a speakeasy anymore. It's just a regular bar.
Right.
But they still 60, 70 years on, they still make the Sons of Guns like they did during Prohibition, just as strong and just the same way.
Right.
Sarah takes one sip of hers and she's back in her chair like, oh my God. And then I take one sip of mine thinking she's just a lightweight. She's just a, whatever. Oh, dear God, I'm going to lean back because like one sip of these drinks.
Yeah.
Knock you on your keister, you know.
Oh my gosh.
You know, halfway through my drink, I'm like, oh God, this was not a good idea. Halfway through the drink.
Right.
This was not a good idea.
No.
And on top of that, we go to a liquor store.
Is it to add insult to injury?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. But then, like I said, that leads into number 8, which was upgrading the sponsorship. So, because none of those ladder experiences would have been possible if Morgan from Florida, someone I will probably never meet in my entire life, but I forever thank her for her kindness, was willing to sell that badge for me for the difference between that and the Earth badge. Because she was kind of hesitant at first to even make that happen. She wasn't willing to go at a certain amount.
Charlie made her.
Yeah, I know.
Charlie flat out said, you're not going to make any profit off of it.
No.
You bought the badge. It's not our fault. You can't go. He was pissed.
Yeah. So
well, and rightly so, because I don't think anybody should make their own personal gain. I'm sorry, Morgan, but he was pissed.
Yeah.
He was not happy. He says, no, you're going to sell it for the difference. If you want to get rid of it, make any money back that you spent, you will sell it for the difference. You will not make any profit.
Right.
You know, that's bullshit. That's not what I'm going to have. I'm not going to have it.
Right. Because she was literally at first, and then the next day she comes back to me and says, "You still want to do it?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And then we just did it. So and Charlie gave us approval. So I could not have asked for a better. So again, thank you, Morgan, for being willing to do that, and Charlie, of course. Number 7, the upset in the NCAA tournament that shook the tourney up. Number 16 seed Maryland Baltimore County, becoming the first team to ever knock off a number 1 and beat Virginia. There have been, plenty of close calls during my life, but I knew at some point it was going to happen. A 16 beating a 1 in the NCAA tournament. But no one possibly could have predicted it happened in such dominant fashion.
I was just about to text him. Hello. Hey. Probably not. Doing a stream with Chris. I didn't know I was going to be a part in it, but I was here, so he's like, oh, okay, let's just do it. So I'm doing Chris's year in review stream with him. I didn't know it was just. It's spur of the moment that I would be involved, but you let me. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to do it. Oh, I'll be home in a little while. It won't be too long. We're moving quick.
Yeah.
We are. Love you. Okay. I was just going to text her.
Right. Anyway, going back to UMBC. No one could have predicted what happened in such dominant fashion as the retrievers of UMBC, that's Maryland, Baltimore County. No, you're good. Nope, you're good.
Okay.
And the thing about UMBC, they needed a miracle shot of their own just to even get into the tournament because they had to beat Vermont with like a last-second three-pointer at the buzzer to even get in when the conference tournament. They flew past Virginia 74-54, and that set the stage for a door-opening region that eventually saw a 9 seed in Kansas State and an 11 seed in Loyola meet in the region final. So that loss by Virginia opened that region up as a whole. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
And, Loyola, with their Final Four run alone, was absolutely outstanding for them to get that far. But we'll remember UMBC forever for making that history, because it never happened, A 1 seed had never lost.
Yeah.
So it's just so stunning.
At least not that early.
Exactly. Yeah, it had never happened.
Yeah.
Number 6, the Mascot Peewee game in Carmel. One day before my birthday last year. And the Mascot's winning it this year. It's becoming a yearly tradition for me to go. I went the year prior for the first time. But the fact that this one fell the day before my 32nd birthday, that made it a little more special this year.
Yeah.
And I wasn't alone this year because Matt made the trip with me this year. So that was very cool. We had an absolute blast.
See, I think that is a game.
Yeah, you had a game that day.
Yes.
Yep. You had a softball game that day. Yep. Either a game or a practice, but yeah, it was one of the two. We had an absolute blast, of course. Pictures, autographs from a ton of different mascots.
Yeah.
And in a surprise, actually Bailey from the LA Kings got invited by Blue specifically, the Colts mascot, to be there. Even though he's from the NHL, he got invited specifically. So it was good to see him again. Moments I'll take away most, though, he got a big hug from Toro, the Texans mascot. That was cool. Blitz in the autograph line, getting pictures with Blitz, Blue, and T-Rack afterwards. All the mascots came together after the game to get a picture with Blue's wife because it was their anniversary that day. It's Blue and his wife's anniversary. So that was cool.
Blitz is
the Seahawks mascot.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then, the mascots winning the game 22-18. It was a good game. It's always a cool event because it's also for charity, so they do raise, money as well. So that's just cool. So yeah, fun event, always a fun time. Hopefully you make it this year.
Hoping.
And hopefully Carlos will make it too. Number 5, getting the terrain for Mom.
That was good.
That was huge. When my cruiser bit the dust after 11 years, I only had 2 options. Mom only gave me 2 options for replacement. Take money out of my savings, sort of a new vehicle for myself, and have to make payments on it, or take possession of the terrain, make no payments on it. Gee, what do you think I was going to take? Yeah. I didn't hesitate. I love the features of that vehicle. The room that it has to offer. It's great for, convention trips. It's great for anything.
Yeah.
How roomy it is. The heated seats, the XM, the OnStar. I love all that.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I'm going to do a couple minor maintenance things with like the tires on it and whatnot, and the usual oil change stops. But aside from that, it's been great. And I hope I get a solid 11 years or more out of it as well. Because it's doing great things for me.
Yeah.
Number 4, and this one shows how great the fandom is. The stream that Bill Newton did for Anna, the little girl that was being bullied.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The fandom raised $1,275 to help her to get her family get to River Free Northwest.
Nice.
That was, it just continues to amaze me how creative, humble, and giving the fandom is, and when someone's in need. And when Bill Newton, who's one of the voice actors in the show, found out about Anna, who was being bullied because she liked the show, he not only made a very heartfelt video by using the voices of his characters, Bright Mac, Pharynx, Stygian, that kind of thing, but he took it into a whole nother level. He then posted on his Twitter, hey, I'm doing a stream for Anna. We're going to get her to Everfree for sure, but then we're just going to use this stream and do like a 24-hour stream, raise money to offset a lot of the costs to help her have a great time. And they hit the goal pretty much. I think it was almost like right toward the end of the stream, like 18 hours in, they hit the goal, but then they exceeded it. The goal was $1,000, and then they exceeded it. So $1,275. It was just it just crushed it. And I don't think I ever saw a story about her experience, but I can probably say that her experience was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I can say probably that her family had a great time thanks to the generosity of the community. So it just amazes me how awesome that is. Number 3, Eagles win the Super Bowl. Come on now. You knew that was going to be somewhere in this top 10. You just knew. It is a great day in this household when the cheating empire, that is the Patriots, goes down in flames, especially in the Super Bowl. We had the stream that night. We're probably going to do that again this year because it's fun.
Cool.
Nick Foles, the underdog Eagles, they were playing up that role all through their run. But an outstanding back and forth game. The Eagles to the final punch, and they preserved a 41-33 win and earned Philly's first championship while denying the Patriots their 6th. Not bad for a team that lost their starting quarterback to a knee injury at the end of the year, pretty much written off. I mean, nobody thought the Eagles could even win their first game, let alone the Super Bowl. Once Wentz went out, it's like, oh, well, Philly's done. That's what everybody in the media said. Everybody. And so they took up this underdog role, like, okay, everyone thinks we're done. Okay, we'll show you. And then they beat Atlanta, and then they win the NFC title game over Minnesota. Like, not just win, but crush them. Like, they blew the doors off Minnesota. And then they go to play New England, where they're heavy underdogs again, and they win. Yeah. I mean, just absolutely incredible. Just absolutely incredible. And now they're in the playoffs again this year, and who knows, you know? Yeah. It's scary because Foles under center again because Wentz is out for the year again, this time with a fractured back. So it's like, oh, and also at the end of the stream, we'll be doing NFL playoff picks too.
Oh,
so,
okay, yeah.
So we'll add that in too. So we'll include that as well.
Okay.
Number 2, Terre Haute Famous. The season opener. Yep. You know.
Getting in the paper.
Yep. I mean, the three of us have been attending Sycamore football, basketball games for a few years now. And we're pretty well known by at least a small part of the Sycamore community.
Yeah.
But never could we have imagined we'd become known pretty much the entire city of Terre Haute.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because that's exactly what happened at the start of 2018 football. As we were tailgating with some of the parents of the football players, we just got invited randomly. You know, hey, come tailgate with us now.
Yeah.
A photographer from the Tribune Star starts taking pictures
of his ears and
Dale, my signature, yeah. And that encounter led to us sharing about our drive, our experiences. The photographer says, I'm going to get my reporter over here, and we're going to do an interview.
Say what?
Right, that was our reaction. And so we just...
He says, no, seriously.
Yeah.
You guys have
a story.
You guys have a story.
We have a story.
We can make something out.
Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah. And so that led to the... And not only did then Indiana State break the long losing streak with a 49-0 smackdown of Quincy, although you wanted 70-0.
Yes.
And en route to a 7-4 season, which is the biggest turnaround in FCS history, going from 0-11 to 7-4, although we should have gotten in the playoffs.
A lot of other schools think that we got shafted.
But we were on the front page the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
The front page. Not some little side scroll in the sports section, not some other thing. No, front page, Terre Haute Tribune Star. I mean, crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But that's how far we've come as fans.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely awesome. Definitely awesome.
Yeah.
But even though that was great, all those moments are great, number 1 for me is the best book that I've ever read in my life.
Okay.
Sensation.
Vivid's
book.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a one-day thing. But here's the thing. I've never had a book not only guide me through just a wide range of emotions and feelings.
Okay.
But that book shows me how, creative, amazing, impactful the fandom is and the community is. Yeah. You know, Vivid, we know him. He's one of the main volunteers at Winnie City every year.
Right.
But then I found out he was writing this full-length book instead of just digital fanfics. Because there's a lot of fanfics. He posts them on, FemFiction and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I had to get a copy because I like his readings and Vivid's a cool guy.
Yeah.
But never in my wildest dreams I know I was in for and read that book. I mean, I got my copy at Winnie City, got it signed by Vivid, and then I began the journey of reading about Soren and Brayburn and how they interacted through this book. Now, the ending, it might not be what I expected in the end, but the rest of the story, it more than made up for it.
Yeah.
I've never been more twisted upside down and all around by a story in my life. And I've read the Hunger Games books. I've read other books, about real life experiences. I've read books about dragons, just name a few. They do not hold a candle to Sensation. Okay. It had a major impact, not just in my life, but on my connection to the fandom. And I have a lot more appreciation for Vivid's work and acceptance in a world that really, really needs it. And after I read the story, okay, I had to make that promise. I had my Soren plush already, had to get the Brayburn plush to go along with it. Yeah. And so the impact it had on my life will stick. That's why for me, is tops. So
okay.
So I've never had a book do that before.
Yeah.
You know, and the funny thing was, and I don't know if I tell you this, as I read it, like, you know, because I would tweet about it, but as I read it, like each chapter, a song would come into my head. And like after the chapter, I'm like, okay, what song would go with that chapter? Like, I'm telling you, like, I could probably make like a whole like soundtrack based on the chapters that I read in that book. Like, because I had so many tied to each chapter.
Yeah.
So it was just, it got at me. So
yeah,
that for me is just highlight of the year, that book. So great. Now the worst. Now the bad stuff. Now the not fun stuff. Number 10, the end of BroNYCon. BroNYCon announcing the end in July. Yeah. I mean, you know, the fandom is going to go on. We know this. The fandom will probably go on for a while. As long as there's a show, merchandise, it's going to go on. And the friendships will likely stand the test of time as well. But boy, oh boy, 2018 was just a rough year for a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
2 closed up shop. And I'll get to those as well because they're also on the list. But a major bomb was dropped in Baltimore this summer when the staff of BroNYCon, the biggest convention in the fandom, announced that 2019 would be their last year. They reached over 10,000 attendees in 2015, but then since then the attendance has seen a sharp decline. And rather than fade away, they want to go out big. So, and I don't blame them. So they want to end on a high. I completely understand that. But still, it is a major loss for those who made that convention their high point each year. And even though new conventions are making their debut in 2020 in Maryland and Phoenix, this will be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
It really will, you know. And we had talked about potentially getting out there, but it just wasn't going to happen.
It'd be like a 22-hour drive.
Or something like that. Maybe a little bit too much. A little high, but okay. I think like 10 hours. It was 10 hours, yeah. But still.
Yeah.
Still a lot. Still a long way. So it wasn't going to happen, but we do hope that BroNYCon has a big swan song. We hope it does go out strong. No controversies, no nothing like that. We do hope it goes out big.
Yeah.
Number 9, the war on bed bugs.
Yeah.
They have been a pain in our side, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure how they infiltrated. I have an idea, but I don't want to say names for obvious reasons. But when I discovered lots of them invading the old couch, the war began. Sprays, powders, steam, you name it, I've used it along with you guys. Now, I will say this, the majority of them are gone. The majority of them are gone. A few colonies pop up from time to time, but then we get the spray, we get the light shining on them, and we do our thing, and I steam and all that stuff. So doing a better job at, you know, working on that. So, you know, but if that happens, I steam and spray. Oh, I think you're going to be knocking on the door. Yeah. You're wanted. You know, so they're not.
Yeah, 10 hours and 7 minutes would have been the Baltimore trip.
Yes. So they're not as prevalent as they once were. Now, some things did. You got to hit the unlock. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I might as well drop it off.
Well, yeah. So some things did go as a result of that, unfortunately. I had to get a new futon, but so the couch went. Some pillows, some sheets. And I did have to wash, actually, several of my plushes for a time. But eventually, a sense of normalcy was returned. But it was just a major pain in the butt to start the month. You got the door there? Okay. Yeah, the cold air was coming in. So, yeah. We, see, every once in a while we find a colony or two.
Yep.
But I'm hitting hard, believe me.
Yeah.
The good thing is I don't find any more upstairs, so I can sleep on my bed just fine.
Oh,
I don't find any more upstairs, which is good. So that's the positive. That's the big positive.
Yeah.
Number 8. When you and I got ripped off at karaoke night. The AMVETS night, the karaoke contest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should have won. At least something.
Yeah.
You and I got ripped off.
Little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you and I made it no secret. We love to sing. We enjoy it very much. And we love doing karaoke nights when we can. But when you saw that the AMVETS doing this karaoke contest, well, we jumped at it, you know.
Yeah.
Fun time, you know. Especially when there's money involved. Cash prizes hand out to the top 3.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, heck yeah. So we both did our signature songs, you know, that we kind of got our go-to at karaoke nights.
Yeah.
You did, you know, Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
Yeah.
And I did Werewolves of London, my go-to. And we both got a lot of compliments. And it sounded like we each had a really good chance to finish in top 3. In fact, I was told I got like 4 of the 11 votes.
Nice. So,
like, I figured I had a good shot. But then there were multiple finalists. They're calling up multiple people to the stage, so it's like, okay, our odds now are not so great. Yeah. So then instead of doing a second round, which is what they originally said at first, we're just going to go, okay, pick a number. Pick a number between 1 and 6. Yeah. And then after that, we were not in the top 3.
Uh-huh.
What a ripoff.
Yeah.
You know, that sucked. It sucked going that home that night empty-handed. That really sucked.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you were so good. But, it is what it is. Still sucked.
Yeah.
Number 7. This one's a little tough for me. Ending the stock report. That wasn't easy. You know, I enjoy this channel. I enjoy what I do on this channel. I've done many projects, you know, series, off-the-cuff videos. You know, there are some that have fallen by the wayside, but even before that, you know. Anyone remember Plugged In? the video game series I did? Yeah, no. Or the Jaguars quarterback quest. You remember that one?
Bit.
Yeah. But others have remained constant now, like ATSD and Tracking the Madness.
Yeah.
But the stock report, the weekly in-season show, you know, that Players Beliefs we started and sat out the season, it was fun. It was informative, bloopers here and there. And even, you know, you and Matt got in the good times. You had a lot of, you know, fun with that.
Yeah.
But all good things have to come to an end sometimes. After 9 years of doing that show, I made the decision to end it toward the end of the year because I couldn't give the full time and effort to it anymore. I always said that I had to do it full in order to have it be productive. Yeah. So, you know, the daily activities of life, to squeeze the schedule thin. What?
Didn't know there was an actual window here.
Yes, there's a window there.
I felt cold on the back of my neck.
Oh, yeah. It's a window.
Huh?
It's a window.
Okay.
It's a window.
Yeah.
You know, other commitments to my local church, being part of the worship team and the tech team, that was cutting into it as well. So it made it possible to do a weekly video series. It really did. So I couldn't commit myself to doing a weekly video anymore. So, but like I said, going forward, I continue to do, of course, ATSD. That's the big one now. ATSD is now the big one. That's going to stay. And Tracking the Madness is going to come on, going to start up later this month. So that's going to be around. And, of course, the more off-the-cuff stuff in the future as well. So, absolutely. It was not an easy decision, but best decision for me, best decision for the channel moving forward. Okay. So tough, but had to be done.
I was a little sad, but I understood why he did it. So
I knew you loved being a part of it, and I know you were. I know you really enjoyed it, but
yes,
it needed to be done.
Yeah.
Number 6. This one's also tough. Faith Covenant betrayed me.
Yeah.
You know.
That was.
Yeah. Never in my wildest imagination did I ever think I would not attend anywhere else than Faith Covenant. You know.
Sorry for that one.
Yeah, right. You know, I was serving the church. I was on the worship team there. I knew a lot of people. And it could not have been in a better spot. Newer building, continued growth. But I could not continue to stand idly by and be disrespected and not communicated with by the leadership. And
that I had a little bit of that too. Mm-hmm. I did too, because towards the end of mine, I was on the worship team as well, and then I'd get the song list a day, 2 days in advance, practice, rehearse, then the day of, like a half an hour before service, we changed the songs. We changed one of the songs. We don't need you. I said, I looked at Pastor Darrell and Ryan. I said, I know the song you changed. I'm going to sing. It's my time. It's my day. You know, I'm sorry, but you bastards.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Honestly, when we both applied for the worship team, it's like we want 80% church attendance and we want all this, we want all this, you pieces of crap.
They're setting standards that are not attainable logically. They're really not.
You don't even
No.
like
So when Ryan dismissed me from the team because he claimed I wasn't committed enough, commitment, their definition of commitment needs reevaluation, ... Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
That was the final straw that broke the back.
I had been gone for a little bit.
Yeah. So at that point, I was determined to find a place here.
Pastor insists on me and Sarah getting married, but he can't even be bothered to do the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Pawns it off on Pastor Fred, which we love Pastor Fred for, but
Right.
you know what? It ain't Pastor Fred's church. He shouldn't have that responsibility.
Right.
But you know what? On that note, Faith Covenant changed.
It did.
They did.
It did.
From when he started going years ago, I said, all right, this kind of going back to a priorities discussion again,
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, we used to play poker a lot back in the day. We don't
It
really
strengthened
now.
our friendship, but yes.
Yeah, but I said, you know what? You can come once a week, twice a week to play poker. Can you not give once or twice a week for church?
And he was right.
And he says, you know, I just never felt comfortable. Always felt weird. I said, if you do not feel loved here, if you do not feel welcomed here, I'll never ask you to go again. And in the beginning, when I started going to Faith Covenant, when he started going to Faith Covenant, it was about the people.
It was.
It was about the,
Yes.
you know, community
Yes.
of the church
Yes.
itself. We were loved. We were
Yes.
appreciated.
Yes.
But when they moved and they had to do all the building stuff, you know, cost of the building. You know,
Is it bad to say like they got too big for their britches?
I don't think they got too big for their britches. I think they got too corporate for their britches. Because
Yeah.
it's like when we got the new building, everybody was all like, we got a good deal. We got this,
Yeah.
that. You know, it all became about the numbers.
Yeah. They
How
kind of
much-
put themselves
how
on a
much
pedestal.
congregation are we getting in every week?
Yeah.
How much tithe and budget are we
Yeah.
getting every week?
It was no longer about this. It was about this.
One of my biggest things, I don't know if I ever told you this, but one of my biggest things was I would always see the budget go higher when we can't hit the last budget. Why the hell are you making the budget even higher?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because they had a weekly needs
Mhm.
and offering. It's like,
Yeah.
we didn't even hit last month's needs, but we bumped the church's needs up by $500 extra.
Right.
Why are we doing that? This is bullshit.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's becoming about the money. I saw it as like, this is not what a church should be, not how a church should be at all.
No.
No. So I left and constantly saw him go through, well, I don't know any other way to put it, but the shit.
Yeah.
He just
it
went
was.
through that shit.
It was.
And it's like, it was hard for me to watch him struggle.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh God, I let him here.
Yeah.
Like crap.
Yeah.
But when I led him there, it wasn't the way it was when either of us left.
No.
It's
Completely different. So then I was determined to find something here.
Yes.
And started going to Revolution in February.
Which was decent.
At first. Again, in the old building at first.
Yeah.
But then after a few months, they move into the new Stables building, and it's like, hello, you preach family, but you don't practice it.
No.
Hello, is anyone going to talk to me? Is anyone going to talk to me about the assessments that I took and guide me forward? Hello, being a void here. Hello, it's like I was talking like an echo to a wall. Like it was clicky. Like everyone had their little school cliques, and I felt alone.
And he came to me. He says, "I got some stuff at Revolution." I'm like, "Oh dear God."
Yeah,
that's my.
If you do not practice what you preach,
no,
I can't stay.
No,
I can't.
Nor should you.
No. Yeah. No. So after that, after a few months, around September, just one day, I'm in the break room at Walmart. I'm just reading through a newspaper, looking through it's a Sunday church directory. Look at the non-denominational right at the top, Church of the Heartland.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Seemed like a small church. They're the former Ben Long Community Center. I'm like, oh, I've heard of them before. I remember they were in the mall. Check it out. Awesome ever since.
Yep.
And small pastor comes in right away, wants to hear my story, gets me involved. The new pastors get me involved.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I could not be happier.
Uh-huh.
And you and Sarah kind of the same way at LifeGate.
Oh, yeah.
So we both ended up good there in the end.
Yeah.
We went through a rough patch, but
a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Good in the end. So it's all part of God's plan,
Uh-huh.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Number 5, the painful primary loss. My mom.
Yes.
In May. Yep. My mom made the announcement earlier in the year. She was making a second attempt to win the circuit court judge seat. Of course, I was excited to help her again. 8 years ago, when I was just a freshman, it was 12 years ago, because I was a freshman at Purdue when she first ran in 2006. She was the only Republican in the entire county to lose the night of the general election. The only night. And we were all devastated. But I was still proud of her because she still had her job and everything. So that was still good. And we all thought, passing a time, it's been 12 years, maybe the city is finally ready to embrace a female judge. And especially considering her opponent was fairly new and inexperienced to the profession. But the final numbers came in as the night went along. And even though we had a lead early, the last numbers came in. Things started getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And eventually it wasn't to be. My mom lost by only 65 stinking votes to Stephen Kitts. 65 votes. And he would go on to run unopposed in the general, of course. So, no competition. Still proud of my mom. Still thankful she has her job. But, boy, this one stung a lot more than 12 years ago. It really did. 65 votes. It still pains me how to drive by the Moose Lodge because of that night.
We flip it off. Or at least I do.
Yeah, right.
No.
Number 4. The shocking end of High Roller PonyCon and the Everfree drama.
Okay. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was. It's like,
Yeah.
And even I chimed in on it.
On the Everfree part. Yeah.
I don't usually get into the Twitter battles or the Facebook wars or anything like that. But hey, even I chimed in on it.
Yeah. 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 I told you 2018 was a rough year for conventions, didn't I? Well, yeah. Not only was BroNYCon's announcement a shocker, but it was the beginning of a domino-like downfall for a few others as well. Shortly after Crystal Mountain in Utah announced the 2018 edition was its last, amongst a cloud of suspicion. High Roller, which had its first installment in Vegas and was on track to return for 2019, came out of nowhere and announced it could no longer continue. But that was only the start.
Oh, boy.
Shortly after that, a huge Twitter firestorm erupted involving Everfree Northwest after a disagreement emerged between a vendor midnight premiere and the convention heads, Scott Kinnersley, a.k.a. Thornwing, and Kyle, the chairman of the board.
Bastard.
Yeah. The future of the convention was very much in flux after accusations, rumors, bans, name-calling, and boycotts tended to follow. But eventually, major apologies came out from both the convention and Kyle, which he needed to do, and peace was restored. But still, it remains to be seen how much the kerfuffle affects the attendance numbers and the impact of Everfree moving forward.
I don't think Kyle should chair it. I don't give a damn if he apologized or whatever. And I said it in my Twitter comment.
Right.
He freaking blamed his little tirade on diabetes problems or some shit.
His mental health, yeah.
Diabetes problems.
Complications from it, yeah.
Complications and mental health. I said it. And I said on my Twitter comments, like, okay, I get it. Complications from mental health and diabetes is a bad thing because I've seen people go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay, if you're blaming this shit on your health and complications from diabetes, I wonder if you are in the condition to carry on in your present
role, right?
Present position,
right?
And I made sure because I had made another comment, and I said, I wish, people would just, like, apologize and let it rest. And Everfree got mad at me, says, don't silence nobody. I said, no, I'm not trying to silence anybody. So in this comment, I said, I just wonder if he's blaming shit on his mental health, his medical conditions, okay? That's no stinking excuse.
Right. No. It wasn't, and a lot of people fandom agree with that that's not, nor should it be an excuse.
Oh my god!
So
okay, so what? I got mental health issues, so am I gonna go pull a trigger and mental health? I shouldn't get nothing. No, I'm still gonna go in. I'm still gonna go to prison for murder.
Right.
Okay. Now, granted, he didn't hurt nobody,
No.
He didn't kill nobody, but still, that's not an excuse.
But Everfree did say that the bans would not be applied, so no one is banned from Everfree. That's all off the board. No one's banned, so the bans don't apply. But Kyle also did say that, he's still going to be in his role for now, but he's going to, maybe consider if he should resign. We'll see.
We know one con we want to never go to.
Yeah, I don't think I could
Not
either
as long
going
as
forward.
he's in it.
Right.
No,
So
no.
that was just a big kerfuffle, though. Really bad.
Fuckle.
Yeah, right. Number 3. This one hits for me, being a video gamer. The Madden shooting in Jacksonville. That one. The number of mass shootings that occurred in our country this year, the past year, is just really tough. They're no longer minuscule. They become, commonplace, unfortunately. Yeah. But one that hit very close to me was in Jacksonville in August. Yeah. During a Madden tournament, of all things. I've hosted a Madden tournament, and I felt safe. You don't think it could happen at a gaming tournament, You don't think it could happen there.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, but the one you hosted was Walmart.
Yeah, but you don't think it can happen anywhere a tournament's hosted. But David Katz, he was a prominent Madden player himself. He had even won a tournament hosted by the Bills, but he was frustrated being eliminated. Now, he did have mental health issues. Speaking of mental health issues, he did have mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So he was all mad after a loss, came back in with his guns, and shot. Took the lives of 2 gamers, Eli Clayton, a.k.a. True Boy, and Taylor Robertson, a.k.a. Spot Me Please. Took his own life afterward and injured 11 others. It rocked the Madden community, the NFL community, the gaming community, led to tighter security at gaming tournaments. Like I said, gamer myself, frequent Madden player, we both are, and we kind of hosted a tournament. Just hit very hard.
Yeah.
When a gaming tournament for fun is now no longer safe in the world we live in, something has to change.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, when tragedies happen, I also tweet out, thoughts and prayers on Twitter, but sometimes thoughts and prayers aren't enough,
Yeah.
Some action needs to be taken.
I honestly think maybe, some application process needs to happen.
There needs to be stringent procedures in place.
Do you have any mental health issues?
Yeah.
You put yes, you don't.
You don't get a gun. Yeah. You don't. And again, guns themselves aren't inherently bad. Good people can use guns.
Yeah.
Gosh, I just saw a video on Facebook yesterday. I don't know if you might know this. In Florida, they have the stand your ground law. Or I don't know if you knew that.
I don't know.
Okay. In Florida, they have a law what's called the stand your ground law, which means that if someone is attempting to, kill you or, whatever to you, if you have a legal gun in Florida, you can shoot and kill them.
Yeah.
That's called stand your ground. That's self-defense or self-defense. It's called stand your ground. There was a case in Florida where that happened, and the officer said in a press conference, this is a justifiable homicide. This is stand your ground to a T.
Yeah.
Because it's a good person with a gun. So,
yeah.
It's just we have to make it harder for people with the mental issues.
Guy started attacking somebody else.
And defended himself.
Yeah.
So guns aren't bad. But, it's just it has to be done to prevent people with mental health issues to have guns in their hands. That's the issue. Because you see the profiles of every one of these shooters, whether Sandy Hook, Columbine, whatever, Virginia Tech, Parkland, the school shooting in Parkland, all those guys. What do they all have in common? Mental health issues. The guy who did the nightclub shooting in Orlando.
Mental health.
Yeah. And probably the guy that did the Vegas shooting, Stephen Paddock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a common theme. It's, so it just something tighter needs to be done. It really does. So I'm all for Second Amendment. I'm not gonna scream here, take the guns away. No, I don't do that. But
yeah, for those people, be like, you know what? You'll take my gun from my cold dead fingers because you'll have to.
Just like Charlie will take, most people take the convention from Charlie's cold dead fingers. But yeah, so I mean, and I get people going after the NRA, like Dana Lorsch, the head of the NRA. Like, I get it. If she's not going to do anything about it, like, I understand, if you're not going to do anything about it, then by all means go after them. But but don't do it if don't do it just out of spite. I mean, but if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do anything to change the rhetoric. Then they're just as bad as the people that do it. So I don't know. Number 2, the thing that really shook up the fandom this year. The Toon Critic scandal. Yeah. Conventions may have fallen, other drama may have happened, but nothing shook the fandom more than the major scandal that happened actually this time earlier in the year, January 25th. When Horse News, which is kind of the major Brony reporting site, posted a lengthy article about Toon Critic Y2K, at the time a popular Brony reviewer and content creator, and his erotic role-play relations with a minor 14-year-old from the Philippines, the fandom reacted swiftly and promptly. The reviewers who worked with Toon quickly disassociated themselves from him and encouraged him to turn himself in. Toon's social media channels and contact really disappeared. Many in the fandom, myself included, made statements condemning Toon's actions while also encouraging the fandom to move forward. This time it's still unknown anything even happened to Toon regarding the actions and this despicable and deplorable behavior. The one thing is all but certain, he will never be associated with the fandom again. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, just you can't
He hasn't gotten anything from that yet?
Not that I have read.
Is he in jail?
Not that I have read. Yeah. So not that I've seen.
Did we get away with it?
I hope not. I hope that something's done. I mean, and we might not know. I don't know if they'll go public with it or not, but keep it here to protect. But from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything for sure. But yeah, that just sucked. And it's always sucks when someone prominent from your fandom does something like that because that's not representative of what the fandom is. Yeah. But yeah. But I like I said when I made my statement, I applauded the fandom's reaction for taking that swift action so quickly to do that.
Yep. So
you know what number 1 is.
What?
You already made reference to it. You know what number 1 is.
I didn't know that was going to be your number 1.
You know what number 1 is.
I have a feeling.
Yeah. It's Molly's passing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could not put anything else at number 1. Let's be
honest. Oh, that was rough.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's worse than losing a family member.
No.
Home, human, animal, doesn't matter. That's family.
Yeah.
I've said it and I firmly believe it. You and Sarah are the closest thing I have to a brother and a sister. And when it became apparent that she was in her final moments. I wanted to be there for you guys, and there was no words to describe the pain that this whole household felt.
Yeah.
It was just all throughout, and we've talked about it on the other stream we had shortly after it happened. But the day it happened, the anemia, the flea medicine, it didn't improve it, and there's nothing that could be done. And you two were inseparable from the moment she entered your life.
Yeah,
I know that, and I know you can vouch for that. And you guys got mad and prepared to fill that void. It makes things easier, but the pain was still prevalent for a while, and we won't forget the friendship and the companionship. And
I've gotten to the point just now. This happened in September.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point, and Sarah and I were doing our own year in review thing. What's the best thing that happened? What's the worst?
Okay.
Honestly, number one best again was probably moving here.
Yeah.
And probably the worst was Molly.
Yeah.
So we agree on that one.
Yeah.
And I have just now, late December, early January, gotten to the point where I can talk about her without sobbing.
Yeah.
Where I can say her name without sobbing.
Yeah.
I still tear up, and it's still hard. You probably hear me struggling now, but that was tough.
Yeah. I couldn't put anything else at one. I couldn't. Because that's just so tough. So.
And it hit all of us.
Yeah, it did, and I knew that it would.
Him.
Yeah.
His first words were, he saw Sarah holding that box.
Yeah.
Not what I wanted to see. I said, no, that's either.
No. So, yeah, it was tough.
A little bit of irony with that. And, Sarah held it together certainly better than me.
Yeah.
Better than most. But then about a month or so later, we take Mocha and Madden to get their checkups, and before we put them on flea medicine, it was the same stinking room we put her to sleep in.
Ooh.
And Sarah looks at the walls, kind of looks away, looks at the walls, and then she just loses it. I said, honey, what's wrong? And she was trying not to. I said, honey, what's wrong? I know something's wrong. She goes, look at the wall. I said, okay, yeah. She says, this is the same room they put Molly to sleep in. And granted, I don't, these vets are Christian vets. It's Noah's Ark veterinary clinic. I've never been able to say that word. Veterinary clinic. I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose, but as soon as it occurred to me, I was like, you fucking bastards.
Right.
But I'm sure it didn't occur. It might not have occurred to them that was the same room, but yeah, we lost it. It's like, shit.
Right.
Not cool.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't put anything else in that one. That was tough.
On a good note, the death of a dog is probably the worst thing that happened. So I guess that's okay. If that's the worst thing that happened, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's
right.
But if that's the worst thing that happened, I think it was a pretty darn good.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there were a lot of those things were kind of bumps in the road, but
I had Molly for 11 years.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited over 2019. I'm excited what this year's going to bring.
Yeah.
I mean, High Hopes. That's my song. That's my song by Panic at the Disco. I'm sure you guys know the group, and so that's kind of my jam for the year. I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking to see what it brings. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of similar experiences. Of course, Winnie City again.
Yeah.
The Mascot Peewee game again. that kind of thing. Maybe getting the TrotCon this year, maybe. So of course, when the fall starts up again, more Sycamore games again. So, Super Bowl coming up in February.
Yeah.
The annual Super Bowl party. March 2nd, the Pacer game.
Yes.
Against the Magic. My mom got me tickets for
lower
level seats. So thank you, Mom. Sarah's first Pacer game. We'll get her down too. So
hopefully.
A lot to look forward to. A lot of exciting things coming up in 2019. So positives, lots of positives, hopefully. All right, gaming. Let's talk about video games a little bit here. Kind of my end of the year best, worst, and most disappointing video games of the year. Starting with the best, number 10, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Call of Duty always tends to sell really well, and this one was a big one for the franchise because it needed to rebound. The last Call of Duty game was a bit of a disappointment with Infinite Warfare, struggled. So Black Ops is kind of like the heart of the franchise, and they need this game to do well, and it really has sold really, really well. A lot of good reviews, so this one has done great. 9, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, another big title of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Another really solid title, looked great at E3. Game has sold pretty well. Just went down in price, I think, about a month or so ago. So it's selling well. Number 8, Monster Hunter World. I had high hopes for this one coming into the year as well, and it lived up to expectations. A very open world game. Lots to very creative, great scenery, lots to do in it. So it sold really well. Number 7, a game that got a lot of hype, God of War for PS4. Bringing that franchise to the PS4 was huge. And that game sold really, really well. Number 6, another one that sold really well, Detroit Become Human, another PS4 exclusive that, again, I was really excited about as well coming into the year. And it sold really, really nice as well. And a good story in it, too. Also, the Switch had a big year, the Nintendo Switch, because number 5, Super Mario Party. A lot of people love the Mario Party franchise. Ever since the start, Mario Party games have been very popular. No exception here when it came to the Switch. Very popular game. I can't keep it on the shelf. It's selling like crazy. Number 4, I have to put Spyro on this list. Yes. Spyro Reignited Trilogy, I have to put on the list. Even though it's a little bit difficult than the original, it's still fun. I still enjoy it. So I was so excited when that came out, so I had to get it. So Spyro at number 4. Number 3, Super Smash, the ultimate for the Switch. You want to talk about a major Switch title. That has been insane. All the characters that have been ever made for Super Smash are available in that game. Every character ever made. So a plethora of characters to choose from. Obviously, the graphics look amazing. Huge on the Switch. So huge get for the Switch to get that game. Number 2, Spider-Man for the PS4. Another exclusive, but a massive seller from the moment it hit the floor. Just huge. I mean, again, it's Spider-Man. It's iconic, and it's an iconic franchise. And again, looks amazing, plays amazing, very, very awesome. But to me, number 1 is a game that I probably sell, I'd say, at least 5 copies of on a daily basis. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
I cannot keep that game in stock for nothing. We've had to get multiple copies in on multiple weeks. It is a daily sell. Every time I get one person a day, I need something out of the glass case. Oh sure, what do you need? Red Dead Redemption 2. Why am I not surprised? It's Red Dead again.
I'll do an honorable mention here.
Okay.
What about the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy?
That didn't come out in 2018. Okay. That was the year before.
Okay.
That was the year before. Now, it's definitely one of the top ones in 2017, absolutely. Yeah, because Crash kind of led to Spyro.
Yeah. Okay.
When they did the Crash remaster, fans kind of knew, when's Spyro coming? So it kind of led to the Spyro trilogy because Crash is iconic for Sony. We know that.
Yeah.
But then fans are like, okay, when are they going to do the Spyro remaster? So fans kind of wanted it, and then eventually they said, okay.
Right.
Then the hints started dropping, and it's like, okay, is it going to come? It's going to come. And then finally, it came out the end of the year. I'm like, finally, yes.
I don't know why I was thinking maybe it just came out for the system this year. Sarah got it for the Xbox One.
Did it
premiere?
When Crash first came out, it was released for the PS4 only.
Oh,
then they expanded it to the Xbox One and the Switch.
In 17?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was shortly after they released for PS4 because people demanded it to come to their systems.
Yeah, okay.
So then they added it to their systems.
Whoops.
Yeah, and then with Spyro, Spyro's right now just for the PS4 and the Xbox One, but I bet you in 2019 at some point they will put it on the Switch. I would be shocked if Spyro does not come to the Switch.
Okay.
I would be absolutely shocked because the demand is going to be there for it. I guarantee it. If Crash can succeed on the Switch, why can't Spyro? You know, so I'm probably certain that Spyro's going to end up on the Switch. The worst. The ones that why we're even on the sales floor, I don't know. Number 10, Dynasty Warriors 9.
What?
I
don't even know.
I never heard of it. What happened with 1 through 8? You know, I never even heard of the series before. Like, I don't know. I don't know why the game exists. Like, nobody bought it. Like, I didn't sell a single copy. Number 9, Mega Man 11. Mega Man is kind of a thing of the past. I understand it's iconic, but, like, it doesn't sell. Like, it doesn't sell anymore. Like, I still have tons of copies left on the sales floor. Like, it's down like $30. So it's like, if you're gonna buy it now, okay, buy it now.
To $30?
It's down to $30 now, and it wasn't at launch. So, and a lot of these are Xbox exclusives. They're really bad. So like Xbox exclusives had a bad year.
Yeah.
Number 8, Vampire. What the hell is Vampire? Like I like you're a vampire. Great. You know, vampire games really sell. That's a really hot market. You know, I didn't get it. You know, I didn't get it. Number 7, the Devil May Cry HD collection. They already did that. That was like a re-release to the re-release. They already did that. Why are you doing the same thing again? You just did that like a year ago. Why are you doing it again? Like I didn't understand that at all. Like I don't understand why you do the same thing. It's not revolutionary. Why you do the same thing? You know, you're putting it in a box. You know, it's like don't do the same thing. Number 6, Scribblenauts Showdown. I don't get the fascination with Scribblenauts. Like you're drawing. It's drawing with a pencil. Ooh. That's called Pictionary. That's basically what it is. It's Pictionary. Ooh, I got you with a pencil. Ooh. I mean, what is that? I don't get it. Number 5, Extinction. An Xbox exclusive. Extinction. That's a ripoff of Evolve. That's a ripoff. That game is a clear ripoff. So is Earthfall, by the way. But there's a lot of games that are like that where, ooh, you either got to be a hunter or a monster. Gee, I can't tell what I want to do. You know, stop copying each other. Stop ripping off games. I mean, you know, is there such a thing as like genre overkill? Like, there's too many in one.
Running out of ideas.
They're running out of ideas. Stop. Number 4, We Happy Few. What the hell is this game? you're like, I think you play like 2 people, and there's a bunch of these people and civilians like, oh, we do this, and they have this kind of face, like this creepy face, like, eee. It's creepy. The front of the game is creepy as crap. Like, seriously, if you look up, if you Google image the cover of We Happy Few, you will be freaked out. Okay, you want to Google image it? Or I'll show you. It is, to me, it is creepy. I might find it before you do, but We Happy Few cover art.
Little bit.
Don't tell me that's not creepy.
I ain't buying it.
That is creepy. Creepy.
I ain't buying it.
I mean, good grief. No. 1,000,000 times to the no. Number 3, Onrush.
What? What is that?
It's a biker game.
Yeah. Okay.
Too many biker games. There's Onrush. There's MX vs. ATV Out. There's Trials Fusion, which is a crappy game. There's too many moto games. We need to stop with the moto games.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Strange Brigade. I don't know why this game exists.
Sounds weird.
I don't know why the game exists. I
That just sounds weird.
It looks weird too.
Another weird one.
It's a little bit. Let me see if I can find the cover art for it. Brigade cover art, maybe. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's like, ooh, you got fire, and you got like what are these looking things, and
Mm-hmm. That's a little weird.
It's weird though, like.
Nah.
Like, what kind of reviews did this get? Mixed reviews.
Oh.
The Xbox One got positive. The rest got mixed. Yeah, so I didn't get it. I thought it looked kind of weird. It was kind of like the Tomb Raider knockoff. But the worst by far, is Fallout 76. It's the worst. Oh, it's the absolute worst. Because the game is not what was promised at E3. Because Bethesda and their head guy Todd are showing off all this great stuff you can do in Fallout 76. All these great scenery and stuff and all these things you can do. And the game is not any of that. And it's filled with glitches and bugs. It is like glitch central. Like, really. Like, and Fallout fans are even PO'd at this game. Like die-hard Fallout fans are PO'd at Bethesda. Not to mention that people's credit card information got leaked.
Oh,
for microtransactions. Yeah.
That would.
Yeah. So Bethesda's dealing with some lawsuits.
Yeah.
Not a good year for Bethesda.
No.
I mean, Fallout is a iconic franchise, and they did not need that in the slightest. But you didn't give us the game you promised. Sorry, you're going to end up on the worst list if you don't give people the game you promised. And then most disappointing. These are games that I thought would do really, really well, and in the end did not turn out to be that way. Number 10, UFC 3, I thought would actually do pretty decent because UFC games tend to do pretty well, but that game dropped in price really quick, although it's probably because Conor McGregor was on the cover, and then he had that little incident where he put a dolly through a bus with his entourage. Yeah, so that kind of had a fallout from that. Number 9, Metal Gear Survive. It didn't live up to expectations. Metal Gear games usually do really, really well, and this game did not do that at all, so it definitely fell short of expectation. Number 8, another franchise that tends to do well but fell short, Elder Scrolls Somerset, another expansion pack that usually Elder Scrolls Online does really, really well, but even the ESO fans thought Somerset was mostly a big-time disappointment, and it really didn't. And it didn't even last on our shelves for very long, so that was a disappointment. Number 7, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. The Dragon Ball games, I mean, they're okay, but they're very hit and miss. And I thought this one would be like the breakout for the Dragon Ball series. It wasn't. It fell very short, flat on its face, and so did not do as well as I expected it to. Number 6, Battlefield 5, and I thought that this one was going to be huge, but merely a few weeks after the game came out, actually even around it was a week or two after it came out, it launched at $59 like normal. It dropped like a rock to $30 shortly after.
Jeez.
And so I don't know if it was bad gameplay or bad reviews or what, but it plummeted, and apparently nobody seemed to like it. So I thought it would do a lot better, but man, compared to the games on the market it's competing against, compared to Red Dead, compared to Black Ops 4, compared to even Fallout, Battlefield's just not selling. So it's a big disappointment for the franchise, especially after the success of Battlefield 1 or even Battlefield 4. Number 5, The Crew 2. I thought this one, after the success of The Crew, the racing game, I thought The Crew 2 would do really, really well, but man, it fell flat. Nobody bought it. Like I really had high hopes for this because they expanded the game. They gave you more vehicles, more areas to explore in the game, and it didn't work out. I guess it shows that Forza is basically the head racing thing. Now like the Crew is trying to compete. Gran Turismo is trying to compete, but screw them because Gran Turismo sucks. That they're always on one of my worst lists usually every year when they put out a game. But it just Forza's on top of the heap right now.
It's going to take 10 hours to download to my PlayStation 4. I
Yeah,
just
right.
said F that.
Yeah, and they punish you for poor driving, so
Uh-huh.
it's stupid. But yeah, no, I had
Only online, maybe.
Yeah, but I had high hopes for Crew 2, and it fell short. Number 4, A Way Out for Xbox. Another Xbox exclusive. This one was really, really, really hyped at E3 because of the co-op aspect. You have to play as co-op. You have to play 2 players. You can't play single player. And there was a lot of hype for it, and it looked like a really good game, but it never really took off. It never really got, and maybe it's because we get a whole lot of copies at launch, but we never sold through it. Like, we didn't really sell a whole lot of copies until it went down in price. I did sell a few after it went down in price. So maybe it came out too much of a cost at launch. So, but that sometimes is the bugaboo to games. So yeah, I thought it would do a lot better than what it did. Number 3, Kirby Star Allies for the Switch. It's Kirby. You'd think, how can an iconic thing like Kirby fail or be a disappointment? But it didn't take off. It was one of those Switch games that just really didn't pan out. A lot of Switch games did really well because the Switch has done really well selling in terms of a console. But that game, I thought it would do so much better, and it really didn't. So I was just stunned that Kirby didn't sell as well as I thought it would. Number 2, Sea of Thieves for the Xbox. I thought this game would crush it. I thought this game would do really, really well. But, man, when it came out, I didn't sell any at all. Like, I was surprised. Like, I thought, like, I keep looking at the wall every day. I'm like, why is Sea of Thieves still on the wall? Why is it not selling out? Why? Because all the hype it got. This looks like finally a really good pirate game. And, no, it didn't take off. And so I thought it would, be that one pirate game like, yes, pirates, it can sell, yay. And no, it didn't. It really didn't. No, it went back in the booty. It didn't do its no.
No. Yeah.
But number 1, what could be number 1? Oh yeah, Fallout 76. Of course it is, because it sucks.
Yep.
Because your game sucks. That's just the long and short of Bethesda. You did not give us the game you promised, just like No Man's Sky last year did. So not the game you promised. So blow you. Nah, that's kind of my day I missed. All right, let's end it with this. Let's do some NFL playoff predictions.
Yeah.
Wild Card Weekend is coming up this weekend. Very exciting time. Always excited when the playoffs come around. And we've got a really good playoff field this year, up and down across the board. So if you don't know, in the AFC, Kansas City is the 1 seed. They have home field throughout, and New England is the 2. So they have byes. And then in the NFC, it's New Orleans is the top seed, and the LA Rams as the 2. So they're both 13-3. So let's start with the AFC. You have a AFC South showdown between the Colts and the Texans. The Colts are coming in, of course, pretty much the hottest team in the playoffs. Started the season 1-5. A lot of people wrote them off. Then they win 9 of their last 10 games just to get in. Absolutely amazing. But the Texans have a similar story of their own. Started the year 0-3. A lot of people, but myself not included, were panicking, thinking, okay, now Houston looks bad. But then Houston rolled off 9 straight wins, got to 9-3, went 2-2 down the stretch, but still did enough to win the division. Now, the 2 teams split during the regular season, but they won on the road. Houston beat the Colts in overtime in Indy, 37-34, in a very controversial game, you remember, when Frank Reich decided, you know what, I don't want to take a tie. I want to play for the win, and it screwed him, and it led to Houston winning. He handed Houston that game on a silver platter. There you go. And the funny thing is, had he taken the tie and not the loss, the Colts be the division champs, if you really think about it. So, yeah. We don't play for ties. We play for wins. Yeah, okay, Coach. Well, you also play for losses because that's what you took that day, an L. But then when they met again at the end of the regular season, toward the end of the season in Houston, the Colts won by a field goal, 27-24. So now this rubber match with a lot on the line, how do we see this going?
I want Indy, but I'm taking Houston.
I I have to agree with you. I'm leaning Houston here. I'm taking Houston 27-23. I mean, because again, these two games have had in common high scoring and close.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's going to have a similar vibe here. I just feel like Houston's going. I think I agree with you in the fact that you said it. Houston's going to play ticked off.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that they lost that game in Houston before to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
So Houston play with a lot of intensity. And Houston, this season, they, remember a couple seasons ago they played for the city after Hurricane Harvey and coming back from that with a lot of emotion. They lost their owner, Bob McNair this year and this past year. And so they're going to play with a lot of emotion in that too as well. But I think it's the fact that Houston to me is more balanced offensively and defensively, with Watt and Merciless and Clowney and Matthew in the secondary. I think that's going to frustrate Luck a little bit more. And because, outside of, the Colts need help in a couple different areas, They have Luck, they have Marlon Mack, they have T.Y. Hilton. What else do they have? You don't, name me another star. You can't. It's just, to me, Houston is just has more talent around them. So, at home, huge game, kicking off the playoffs. I feel like Houston's going to build off that. I agree with you. I agree. I'm taking the Texans as well. As much as we love the Colts, but I'm leaning Houston there too. It's a hard divide for me because I like other Texans too. So then the other AFC game, the Chargers, a wild card team at 12-4. Doesn't happen often, but they are a wild card team at 12-4. But they're going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens at 10-6. This game is probably going to be that high-octane Chargers offense going up against that Ravens defense. And then the other match to watch is Lamar Jackson going against that Chargers pass rush. But I like the Chargers in this one. I do.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the Chargers just seem like the most balanced team in the postseason. They just feel like, to me, I think I have the Chargers win this game at like 2 touchdowns or something like that, like 31-17, I think. I just feel like the Chargers are going to, they're going to frustrate Lamar Jackson with that pass rush with Bosa and Ingram. They're going to try to take away Jackson's running ability. They're going to force him to be pressured in the pocket. They're going to force him to throw, which is not Lamar Jackson's thing. So, and they're going to try to eliminate the run with Edwards. So they're I think the Chargers in that regard are going to eliminate all that and just shut down Baltimore. And again, Baltimore's defense is their forte. If they can somehow find a way to eliminate the Chargers' weapons, then Baltimore could win, but I don't see that happening. So that's why I like the Chargers. Yeah. Then over in the NFC side of things, you have Chicago hosting Philadelphia. Now, of course, for you, Chicago is your click to pick. Like, you have them going all the way.
Yeah.
So I know you're taking Chicago. And I am too, but I feel like this one, of course, has a lot of intrigue to it because, again, Philly scares me a bit. Philly could be one of the more dangerous 6 seeds we've seen in some time. Maybe like the 6th seed, the Steelers a couple years ago that won the whole thing. Because Foles, to me, just he works in that offense better than Wentz does. Like, at least to me. Like, he's a more confident quarterback. Like, he makes better throws. He's more accurate. And I just feel like, he maybe drives the bus a little better. But I don't think Philly has seen a defense like Chicago's, especially this game being played in Chicago.
Yeah.
With Mack and Roquan Smith and their secondary with Kyle Smith in the secondary, Fuller. I mean, they are going to, Amukamara, they're going to make plays. And I just feel like it's going to be tough for Philly to consistently make plays with that pass rush, with that secondary. I think it's going to be a close game. I think I'll have Chicago winning by like 4 points, I think. But I think it could be low scoring, grinded out. But I still think Chicago gets the job done and they win at home. And then the last NFC game, Seattle is at Dallas. Both teams are 10-6. Seattle came on strong of late in the season. Kind of so did Dallas, too, once they got Amari Cooper to pair with Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. But for me in this game, it's experience versus inexperience. Dallas has not won a playoff game with Jason Garrett as head coach. They haven't won a playoff game since, 1993. Like they struggle in the postseason,
Yeah.
and Seattle to me just has the experience. I know Seattle struggles on the road. I know they're a different team on the road than at home because the 12th man at home they're like perfect in the postseason. But to me, it just screams like Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and what they have. It's just, to me, it boils down to experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Seattle in that game.
Yeah.
You're in your agreement. Because again, I feel like, because again, I mean, don't get me wrong, Dallas has had a great year, but Dallas is they're too reliant on their stars.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. They're too reliant on Dak. When Dak has a bad game, the Cowboys offense has a bad game.
Yeah.
When he did nothing against the Colts, Dallas did nothing. 0. Goose egg. First time shutout in several games. So when Dak struggles, so goes the offense. Zeke can't do it all himself. If you don't target Amari Cooper, you get nothing. It's like they have to rely on those guys so much. And Seattle's defense, while not as strong as the past when it was Seattle defense, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
They still have stars. Bobby Wagner's still there, the linebacker. He's still amazing, and Averill and other guys. So, yeah, I boil it down to experience. I think that could be a one-sided game. That get ugly early. I like Seattle to win that game.
Yeah.
So we're all in agreement on those games.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So that is going to wrap it up for the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always, for everything, for the already blooper of 2019 with Thoroughbred instead of Thoroughfare. Lot to come. A lot more to come. More ATSDs, more Tracking the Madness kicking off early middle of this month, more off-the-cuff stuff to come as well. Super Bowl stream. So a lot more exciting things for 2019. So as always, thank you, viewers, subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. And so for Nate, I am Spiky Dash, signing off. God bless and have an amazing night and an amazing 2019.